Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here is your daily forecast for the day of Tuesday, June 26th, 2018. Now what we've got going on today is the moon hanging out right here in Sagittarius. When the moon's in Sagittarius, it of course brings our focus to doing something new, to traveling, to exploring, adventuring, also to studying or to learning something. That could come in with Sagittarius, as well as our belief systems, adjusting our beliefs, focusing on our belief systems. Religion falls into Sagittarius as well. So that's what's going on there. All right, now very early this morning, 2 a.m. Mountain Time, this moon in Sagittarius came into a trine with Venus and Leo. I like to think that's positive. I do like trines. Venus and the moon also get along very well. So I do think what this can bring perhaps is something positive. I like to think that can happen at 2 a.m. Mountain Time for you to work with relationships, for you to maybe have fun with your relationships, have fun with other people in your life, to do something new with your relationships, meet new people, think about your relationships in new ways. Again, with Venus ruling money, may help you too to figure out new things to do with your money, new ways to make income. Ways to be happier with your money as you do new things that can help you to be happier with both your relationships and money. Okay, so that's what I see happening there. Also, if you want to think of Venus as ruling value systems, maybe as well having new value systems, new beliefs about your life, about your relationships and money that were coming in, okay, at 2 a.m. this morning. Again, I do like to think that they were positive. All right, so that's what we've got there. Then after that happens, a few hours later, 6 a.m. Mountain Time, what is that, 4 hours later? The moon moves further through Sagittarius and then comes into a square with Neptune. And what that can then bring up at 6 a.m. Mountain Time, some confusion, always with squares to Neptune. A haze in the mind, a little foggy. If it's not confusion, maybe you're just going to be a little bit sleepy around that time, needing a little bit more space than you would to process, to take a step back, to meditate, to get things right with yourself. I think what's been going on the past few days with this moon in Sagittarius is that we've been doing something new, we've been adventuring, we've been trying things. We don't want to do something new, we want to feel comfortable in life, we want to feel at home, we want to build a home. And perhaps in order to build a home that we want and need, in order to feel grounded, we're having to do something new in order to get there, and we don't want to do it, okay? I hope you're following me on this, because now we've got the sun in Cancer. We've got a new moon solar eclipse that's going to happen in Cancer. And Cancer and Sagittarius quincunx. And Saturn's just been in Sagittarius for a really long time. You know, so it's like the past few days, day or two, since the moon has been in Sagittarius, we've been having to think one more time again about doing something new, about adjusting our belief systems. We don't want to do that. We want to feel comfortable. Plus, we've been doing something new, trying to adjust our belief systems for the past 2.5 years. Saturn was in Sagittarius. Granted, it's not there anymore, but it was there for quite some time, a few months ago. So I think it's one of those things, and I think that's what happens at 6 a.m. Mountain Time, is we're like, oh wow, this happened, like these things came up. You know, and I think yesterday was a super fated day with the moon and a trine with the North Node. You know, it's like all of a sudden yesterday we were getting like all these insights to things about our future, about what we need to be happy, even if we didn't want to do them, even if they're not quite comfortable, even if they're taking us out of our comfort zone. And I think we get to 6 a.m. this morning where we're like, oh my goodness, like what just happened? What does all this mean? I'm confused. You know, I'm confused now because there's something new that I feel like I should do, or I need to do, or something inside me kind of wants to do, my heart kind of wants, but there's also a part of me that like doesn't want to do it because it's foreign to me, and I don't want it foreign. I don't want foreign things. I want home, I want family, I want comfort. And whatever that means to you. And so I think that that's what's going on, that at 6 a.m. Mountain Time, you may need some time this morning to take a step back from, to process what just happened yesterday, to process what is going on, to process what your new belief systems are, what your new value systems are, to process what's coming up with relationships, if there are new relationships, if there are new money or financial situations that you're working out, okay? And really needing, again, to take a step back at 6 a.m. to process, to meditate, to understand spiritually, emotionally, intuitively, internally, what everything means to you, what everything means that's happened to you recently, so that you can overcome the past with Neptune, with Pisces, and move forward doing more of what makes you happy, even if you have to upset your home life, even if you have to upset your sense of stability to do something new in order to get it. All right. So I think that's what's going on there. And I actually think that's the only thing that's going to be happening today. So after that, the moon's just gonna kind of hang out. Gonna be what? I think it's gonna be a void moon. And we're just gonna kind of have to sit with that. Sit with, okay, what's going on in life now? What's happening? As we start to figure more and more things out, all right? Yeah, I'm just trying to see, is that it? Because everything is what at the early degrees. Yeah, I was like, the only other thing the moon will do today is it'll quincunx Mercury, which is the same thing. We want home, we want to feel comfortable, but we got to do something new in order to get it, which I think is what I named my video yesterday. All right, so that's what I'll leave you with there. Other stuff going on in the background. The first thing I'm going to start with, of course, Mars. Retrograde happening today. I like this personally, because Mars has been moving slow for a very long time on the south node, not in a good spot, very frustrating, you know. And I think we've been like, where is life going? Especially in Aquarius, it's like, what does our future look like? I always say Aquarius is a very forward-thinking sign. It's all about the future, you know. It's also about socializing, detaching from life, and it's ruled by an outer planet, so it's also thinking about like the big picture in a lot of ways. And I think that's been very, very hard for us to figure out, well, what does our future look like? Well, you know, Mars is on the south node. You got to clear out stuff from the past before you get to the future. You know, and I think it's just been really, really hard for us to figure out, well, what are our goals and dreams? What are our ambitions in Aquarius? You know, who are the group of people that we're now being called to interact with? I think it's been very hard. And I think now that Mars is going retrograde, it's not like all of a sudden the answers are going to come to you. I mean, maybe yesterday some things might have come up with the trine to the north node, but it's not like all of a sudden answers are going to come to you. It's like slowly you're going to start to get more clarity, like, oh, okay, now I get it. As to where the past few weeks we've been like, the fog is so thick and I can't really tell and I can't really see where my life is going and what I really want. I think now that Mars is finally going retrograde, we're going to say, okay, maybe I don't have all of the answers. Maybe I don't know quite yet where my life is going, but I'm starting to get bit by bit by bit, piece by piece by piece, more and more information of what that is, of where my life is going, of what I need, especially with Neptune just went retrograde as well. I think it's time to start getting more answers, to start getting more clarity on what it is that you need, and to start figuring some of that stuff out about where you see your future going. Okay, that I think is going to be a really big thing. And I think, right, Mars going retrograde today is going to help give you some of those answers that you want or have been looking for that you have not had recently. And I think they will start to unfold starting today over the next few weeks and months, okay, to help you get a better future of where your life is going, of what your goals and dreams are, and of how you can reach some of those things. All right, you may still have to listen to your heart. We are going to have a solar eclipse in Leo and a lunar eclipse here on the south node very soon. I mean, you're still going to have to listen to your heart, what your heart wants, what your heart is calling you to do. But I think the more you listen to what your heart wants, even if it requires you to do something new in order to find that comfort and stability, then your future will be made more and more clear over the next few months, and things will be a lot less frustrating than they have been. Okay, so that's what I see happening there. While that's going on, we also do have the Sun in Cancer in opposition with Saturn, bringing choices and decisions about you, about who you are, about what makes you feel comfortable, about where you see your life going. If you're not making choices and decisions, which I think are very good to do with oppositions, then maybe you're feeling restricted. I need this to feel comfortable in my life with Cancer. I need this to feel at ease with myself, with who I am emotionally. But I can't do that. I can't do that because I've got other things in life I got to worry about. I got other responsibilities because I got other things with my career, with my life direction that I'm trying to figure out, that I'm trying to maneuver, that are taking some time. You know, and while that's going on, I got something new over here I may have to do too, as I've got all this other stuff going on. And all I want to do is do the Cancer thing and curl up in my shell, you know. And so it's like a really hard thing, maybe feeling restricted, just like, man, I just want to feel comfortable. I just want to feel like I'm at home in life, and you can't. Something new to do, responsibilities you got to take care of. And I think really needing to start to make choices. You need to start to make choices. You need to start to make decisions, especially with the moon here coming into a full moon this week. Mars now going retrograde, I think, are going to give you some of the things that you're missing. You got to make choices. You got to make decisions. I think more choices and decisions are going to start to come, especially at the solar eclipse in Cancer, July 11th, going to oppose Pluto. All right, you're going to have to start making choices about what you need to feel at home in life, and maybe what changes you need to make to where you thought your life was going, even if you have to do something new in order to get it. So I think we're just trying to figure all of that out, and you could feel restricted in the process as you figure out what choices and what decisions it is exactly that you need to make. All right, while that's happening, we also do have Venus in a square with Jupiter. I think it's what, 1 degree off today? Venus is moving ahead of Jupiter. So again, more changes in relationships, more changes in money, more changes in your value system. Maybe we're making some of these changes in our relationships, money's value systems, to let new things in, even if it's uncomfortable for us to let the new things in. But maybe needing to do a few more new things in order to feel the way that we want to feel, even if we're feeling restricted in the process, having to make some choices about some changes that maybe we do want to make, so that we can get a clear picture of where our life is going. All right, so I think that's going on. Maybe as well with Jupiter, new money sources. I did say that. I was like, that's right, because we've got Jupiter mirroring a lot of what's going on with the moon in Sagittarius. So I'll leave it there. I think you all get the picture that I'm trying to share with you all today. We're trying to feel comfortable in life. Maybe requiring us to do something new, make money from new places, meet new people, have new value systems or new beliefs about our life. In order to let these new beliefs in, we may have to change a few things. These new relationships, these new money situations, we may have to change a few things in our life. And we may have to make some decisions or some choices about where we saw our life was going in order for us to feel better. But I think doing all of that will help start to bring everything together slowly over the next few months. I don't even know if slowly is the word. I think the slowest part of the summer was over. Gemini season was pretty slow with Mars on the stationing on the South Node, a lot of these other things going on. I think once the eclipses happen July 11th, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to start to come up. Things are going to start to change, big things in your life. Eclipses are big, they last for a while. 6 months at least, sometimes even longer, you know. So and you know, they can bring major course corrections in your life. And I think once the eclipses come, and then of course Mars comes out of retrograde, which is going to be what, August? I think things will start happening a lot faster than they have been the past month or so. And I think we're just starting to get the picture that things are not going to be as slow as they were last month, and we're just trying to figure all of that out right now. Okay, so that's what I've got for you. Now your card for the day. I got a new deck today. I got it for my birthday. It's the Crystal Unicorn Tarot. So I'm super excited. You'll see it. They're all unicorns. Although this one you won't be able to see the unicorn too much. Maybe I'll show you another one. But this is the Ace of Wands reversed. Can you see it? It's cool. It's kind of like illustrated with unicorns and stuff. It's very pastel. I like it. I like new decks, and this was like super cute. It reminds me of like childhood. Very nostalgic. So I like it. The Ace of Wands reversed. Anyways, what that can bring here, and this is like a hoof, a unicorn hoof holding a wand. But anyways, what this card can bring, maybe not feeling the passion today, which is kind of weird because we have the moon in a fire sign, in a passionate sign. Maybe we're not feeling the passion today about our life. Or maybe sometimes the Ace of Wands, we're too passionate. We don't know what to do with all of our passions. They're all over the place. We don't know what we need to find the excitement in our life, to find our hearts. You know, I think that can be what's going on today. Maybe that's it. Like, we're trying to figure out what we need to feel excited in life. And I think there are opportunities there. I think there are things to get excited about. But it's just like, how do we, what do these things mean? Maybe it's just some confusion about the excitement, confusion about the things that are calling our names. That's making it hard for us to get excited about life because we've got a pressure from a lot of different places. And I think this card saying, well, it's okay if you don't feel super excited about your life, if you got a lot of other things weighing on you. It's okay if you don't, but also perhaps saying maybe try to find ways to find more of the excitement, to figure out how to slowly bring more of the excitement back into your life. Maybe if you feel like there's some big new thing or big new change that you need to do with this, like Jupiter, the square to Jupiter, the moon in a Jupiter ruled sign, maybe also this card is saying, maybe just take it easy. Maybe pick one new thing you can do. Maybe start small. I think strategy and planning is going to be super important this next month or so, with Mercury about to come on the North Node where Venus was. If you got a lot of things going on, that's too much new. I don't know how I feel about this. Doing something new. Maybe start small. Pick one thing. Start to plan from there and focus on that. And then once you figure that out, then maybe the rest will come. The rest will blossom from that. All right, so I think that could be a message of today. All right, if you're not feeling quite as excited or like the passion is there in your life in the way that you want, don't worry. Just slowly figure out how to bring that back in. Maybe start small, and then all of that can eventually add up. Okay, yeah, this deck is kind of cool. The reason why I chose it is because it's actually very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It's literally like almost the same, except it's like this person's drawings and they all have unicorns. But I like that because it's a lot easier to interpret, because some of the other decks I actually do have a few other decks. The cards are like very different, the interpretations, the drawings in them, than what the Rider-Waite-Smith looks like. So sometimes I have to think about them for a second, especially if they're not a major, like if they're the minor arcana, I have to think about them. So I like that this one, it comes a little bit more naturally because they look so similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is like super important to me, especially for those of you who are learning. Like if those of you who watch me are learning how to read tarot, then like having a deck that looks pretty similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith may help you learn instead of using something else. So yeah, so I gotta get used to the deck. Get more, we gotta meet each other, get more familiar with each other. But that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.